Blessings everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, we're going to learn how to do a crochet ruffle hat. But first, a scripture. The scripture is coming from John chapter 15 verse 9. As the Father hath loved me, so have I loved you. Continue ye in my love. And on the back it says, O Lord, I love you because you first loved me. Amen. For this tutorial, you'll need 4-ply yarn. I will say to double the skein of yarn. So if you have one, just get another one. So you'll have a total of 2 because the ruffle is a yarn eater. Okay? Keep that in mind. Elastic. You're going to need a eye crochet hook, some scissors, but I have this instead, the little elephant. I'll post a link down below where I purchased this from. And a stitch marker. The stitch marker is optional, but we're going to be using this on the ruffle stages because sometimes you want to see the light at the end of the tunnel when you're doing the ruffle rolls. And y'all see what I'm talking about when we get there, okay? But for now, we're going to put that to the side. And of course, you'll need a tapestry needle. Let's get started. Before we start with the magic ring, I will start with a chain 4 and join. So that way, if you don't know how to do a magic circle, so let's start off with a slip knot. I wrap my yarn twice around my pointer finger. I take the back of the yarn and place it up to the front tip of my finger. And then I go back to get the other piece of the yarn and pull that out. And that becomes my slip knot. I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to join. I'm going to chain 2, but my chain 2 doesn't count as a stitch. And we want to work inside this hole right here. We're going to place 11 double crochets inside that hole. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. We're going to go grab our tail in the back and we're going to pull so that way we can close that hole. And then when we weave our ends, we'll be able to close it even more, okay? I'm going to join at our first double crochet. Again, I always count backwards so I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And this right here is my first double crochet that I made. So now I'm going to show how we do it with the magic circle. For the magic circle option, we're going to start with our magic circle. We're going to chain 2. 1, 2. The chain 2 doesn't count as a stitch. I'm going to go ahead and pull a little bit of my tail. And we're going to work 11 double crochets inside this magic circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. I'm going to pull our tail just a little, and we're going to join at our first double crochet. Sorry, I had to do a mic change because my battery was running low. So now we're on to round 2. Round 2, we're going to chain 2. And again, this doesn't count as our stitch from here on out. We're going to do 2 double crochets inside that same stitch. 1 and 2. We're going to do 2 double crochets in each stitch all the way around. So just go ahead and put 2 double crochets in each stitch around. If you wanted to, you can also grab this yarn, which I didn't, and make sure you're weaving your tail as you go in. So that's what I'm doing right now. Pause the video and I'll meet you back when we reach the end of round 2. We reached the end of round 2. We're going to join at that top first double crochet, chain 2. For round 3, we're going to do 2 double crochets inside that same stitch. So that's 1 and 2. We're going to do 1 double crochet inside the next stitch. And 2 double crochets inside the next stitch. 1 and 2. So our pattern is 1 double crochet inside the next stitch, and then in the next stitch 2 double crochets. And you're going to repeat this all the way around. Again, 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and then in the next stitch 2 double crochets. You're going to repeat that 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 all the way around, and I will meet y'all back once we end round 3. Now we at the end of round 3. We're going to join, chain 2. So for round 4, we're going to do 2 double crochets inside that same stitch. 1 and 2. Next, we're going to do 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So that's 1 double crochet right here, and then in the next stitch 1 double crochet, and in the next stitch we're going to do 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. Again, 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, and then we're going to do our increase right here by putting 2 double crochets inside that same stitch. So you're going to repeat that all the way around, and I will meet y'all back when we at the end of round 4. Now we at the end of round 4. For round 5, we're going to join. We're going to chain 2, 1, 2. We're going to do 2 double crochets inside that same space. So that's 1 and 2. we're going to do 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. That's 1 double crochet, and that's 2 1 double crochet, and this is a third 1 double crochet. And the next space, meaning the 4th stitch, we're going to do 2. So that's 1 in there and then another one. Again, 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, and that's 3. And then we're going to do our increase by doing 2 double crochets in the next stitch. Again, 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So that was 1 in the next stitch. This is 2, and then in the next stitch, this is 3. Now we're going to do our increase by going to the next stitch and putting 2 double crochets inside that same stitch. So that's 1 and 2. You're going to repeat this all the way around, and I'll meet y'all back when we finish round 5. Now we have to end of round 5. We're going to join. We're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and round 6 will be our last increase round. So we're going to do 2 double crochets inside that same stitch. We're going to do 1 double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And at our 5th stitch, we're going to do 2 double crochets inside that stitch. Again, 1 double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. In the 5th stitch, we're going to do 2 double crochets. I'm doing the last one with you, and then you're going to pause the video and I will meet y'all back. Again, 1 double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. And now in our 5th stitch, we're going to do 2 double crochets inside that same stitch. You're going to repeat that pattern all the way around, and I will meet y'all back when we are at the end of round 6. And now we at the end of round 6. We're going to join, chain 2, and for round 7 through 10, we're going to do 1 double crochet inside that same space, and 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way around. So I will meet y'all back when you do round 7 through 10. And again, all you're doing is 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way around. Pause the video and I will meet y'all back. We reached the end of round 10. For round 11, we're going to join, chain 1. That chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch. We're going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. So pause the video and I will see y'all once we finish round 11. Now we reached the end of round 11. We're going to join, chain 2. For rounds 12 to 13, we're going to do our ruffles. The ruffles are going to be a total of 3 rounds of ruffles. But for 12 to 13, we're going to do our ruffles. And then I'm going to show y'all how to add elastic to the hat, because once you start doing the ruffles, you're going to notice that the hat becomes, out of shape. So don't worry about that. I'm going to show you how to fix that. Your chain 2 doesn't count as a stitch. We're going to go ahead and put 3 double crochets inside that same stitch. So that was 1, 2, and 3. In the next stitch right here, you want to put 3 double crochets, and this is where patience is needed, especially when we do our final row of ruffles. But for now, we're going to do 2 rounds of ruffles. So the next stitch, you're going to do 3 double crochets inside that same stitch. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, and again for rounds 12 to 13, you're going to do 3 double crochets inside each stitch all the way around. Tape breaks if needed. So now we reached the end of round 13. We're going to go ahead and join, and we're not going to fasten off because we have 1 more rounds of ruffles to go. So we're just going to draw up a loop, like a long loop like this, and we're going to work on our other skein and yarn. We're going to turn our hat inside out. As you can see, it's all stretched out, so we're going to get its shape back. I have elastic right here, and I measured it to 22 inches, and I did not stretch it when I measured. I just did it without stretching because I like to double knot it like this, and sometimes I even triple knot it. It all depends. There we go. Okay, and I make sure it's like really tight, and I come back in with some fabric glue or some crazy glue, whichever I have on hand. So we're going to put this to the side, and we're going to grab a hook, and you can start anywhere, but I'm going to just start right here close to the beginning of where I would normally start my rounds. We did a row of single crochets right here, and we went in for our ruffles there, right? So we're going to jump back to where we did our double crochets, and we see this loop right here. We're going to go into that. We're going to go into each one of them all around, and you should have about 66 stitches. If you don't have 66 stitches, you have 65 or 64, that is okay. If you I am going to do a slip knot. I'm going to put it on my hook. And as you notice, I always have long tails because I just like to be extra secure like that. So we're going to go in and we're going to chain one, and that chain one doesn't count as a stitch. We're going to go ahead and do a single crochet in there. So that's one. We're going to go ahead and find our other loop right there, and we're going to do a single crochet. We're going to go back around. We're going to go to the next stitch and single crochet. And just take your time to find those loops. So as you can see, when you started doing the 3 double crochet inside the stitch, if you go below, you'll see that stitch. So I will meet y'all back all the way around, and we'll start attaching the elastic on the next single crochet row. At the end of my round of single crochet, I'm going to join at that first single crochet, chain one. So now we're going to do a single crochet stitch in each stitch all the way around, and making sure that my elastic rests on my crochet hook, on top of my crochet hook like that. We're going to grab that yarn, pull through, grab our yarn again and pull through, and our elastic is inside our first single crochet. We're going to do that again by doing a single crochet in the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, and you just want to make sure that your elastic rests on top of that crochet hook when you're going in to make that single crochet stitch. You'll see the hat coming in when you get closer and closer to the end. So I will meet y'all back once we finish our last single crochet row. This is our last single crochet row while we join in the elastic, and I will meet y'all back when we start on our last ruffle row. Also, another thing you can do is you can tuck in your ruffles like this while you're going around your hat to do the single crochet stitches while having your elastic with while carrying your elastic. Just makes the process a little bit easier while the ruffles don't get all in the way. That's why I didn't have y'all do the 3 rounds of ruffles because I think the extra row will just be all in the way right now. So we'll just do that last. But I'm almost done. As you can see, that hat is not as wide as it was before. It's coming along, it's coming in. So that's why I like to put the elastic in there. And if you don't want to do the elastic, you can add a drawstring if you want to. See, with the tail of when I tied up the elastic, I just pull that through like that, and I will cut that when I get the chance. And I will still weave this in as well. As you can see. And then whatever is left over, I just cut that too. Now that we're at the end of our last round of single crochets, we're going to slip stitch at that top, and we're going to draw up a loop, and then we're going to cut our ends. And now we're going to be doing our last round of ruffles. Okay. If you want, you can start weaving in your ends and everything like that. But let's just get these ruffles roll over with. As you can see, that elastic roll helped form our head a lot better. But as you can see, I'm stretching it. And it stretched back into place. So remember we drew up that loop. We're going to just bring it back down. We're going to chain 2. That doesn't count as a stitch. We're going to do 1 double crochet in that stitch, and we're going to place a stitch marker. Now the stitch marker is optional, but if you want to see the light at the end of the tunnel, you may want to put a stitch marker right there, because I'm telling you, patience is needed at this last round of ruffles. So we already did 1 double crochet. We're going to put 2 more inside that same stitch. We're going to do 3 double crochets inside each stitch. Yes, each stitch all the way around. So yeah, this is why I said that if you want to place a stitch marker, because when you're doing this and you think that you're done and you don't see that stitch marker, you're not done, okay? So I will meet y'all back once we have 3 double crochets inside each stitch all the way around. I reached the end. I have to do 1 more set of 3 double crochets inside that same stitch. Now I can join at that top double crochet and then chain 1, draw up that loop and cut. And now I'm going to weave in my ends, and I'll be right back. After I finish weaving my ends, I do go around and fix my ruffles like this. And you can leave your ruffles like how they're flowing, but I just like to have them pointing upwards. So I'll just go around and just do this. Just fix them up a bit. I'll be right back to show y'all how it looks on my mannequin. Thank y'all so much for watching. Peace, love, and happy crocheting.